Back to Daily Dose. My name is Robert here with Dick Chudnow, the founder of Comedy Sports. And we're talking about improv and its use maybe in surprising places too. The history of comedy sports with applied improvisation. I'll tee this up and you tell me how much I got right or add into it. But what I understand is there was a show in the South Bay here in the Bay Area, and some Apple execs saw it mid 80s or so and went, we want what you guys are doing. And that really became a huge deal, right? This is the burgeoning part of, Silicon Valley, and it became bread and butter for so much of what we do. How does that sit? Is that about right, or is there more to it?
No, that's exactly right. We were discovered by businesses that wanted us to come in and teach them what this phenomena is and how it can be applied to our business. And we've been all over the country, biggest businesses in the country, doing workshops for them, and even we do workshops, improv workshops for birthday parties. We do anybody who wants to learn how to do improv, we're there for them. Uh,
Right.
implied uh, improvisation is an important part of our business.
Yeah. And like you said, it fits with what people seem to want in that space, which is, growth in culture, growth in listening, growth in growth, right? They want to grow as an industry. It's very hard to grow from top-down bottleneck style of business. You've got to become expansive in order to reach your market. And that means, getting the folks who are on your team to feel more like they're on a team.
On a team, they trust each other. They got each other's back, and that's what is so great about athletics and the Army. We love to have military in our group. They understand I've got your back better than anybody. So they
Well,
come
that's
in
what.
and improv with an immediate understanding of what it takes.
Yeah, yeah, and commitment to I've got your back. It's not a catchphrase. It's life or death. And when you can raise the stakes to that level, like you said, trust and everything comes inherently with that.
Yeah.
I want to add in because, as you know, I took this after co-founding the Las Vegas Comedy Sports, which is a great part of my heart. And shout out to all of them, to Justin, Lana, and the whole team out there. That my turn went towards this work with Parkinson's, and there was a paper that showed Parkinson's might the improv might have a positive effect on Parkinson's, but then it became a PhD program, and then eventually my nonprofit and this book. When you see and hear the challenges of institutions that don't listen, right, maybe as well, and I think a lot of us have had experience with, say, the institution of medicine or academia for that level, not listening when certain people are at the forefront. What do you think improv can do to open up some of those ears for the institutional challenges that don't listen as well?
Well, there's the improv games specifically to deal with that, with the trust issue. You go in, and the boss wants to be the boss in this improv session with this improv game, and it doesn't work in this game. And they realize that uh, I'm a pain in the butt. I'm ruining these. They realize it usually themselves, but sometimes you have to point out that you're taking the lead. You're the boss, and you're trying to be the boss in these improv scenes and improv games. It doesn't work, and that's the analogy to your company. That these are valuable people. They're part of your circle. They're part of your group. They're part of your company. They're part of the whole. And if you don't treat them like that, if you don't treat them as being important, and their input being important, input being important, your company is not going to work very well, and the
Yeah.
employees aren't going to be happy. But there's so many games. We have 300 games, and you've used in your book a lot of them, which it's an amazing book. Actually, I read it cover to cover, even the back cover. I read the back cover. Fine. It's what you've done is amazing to team improv with Parkinson's disease. And I've been to your workshops, and they are very effective. And the people are very grateful. obviously grateful in doing what you're doing in your cause. And I love the hero's journey. That says it all. I mean, when you yeah, hero's journey can be as small as getting up on stage or the field
Oh,
and
yeah.
doing something. I mean, that's a hero's journey.
Right.
It doesn't have to be this big grandiose thing, and your book points that out. Um, yeah, I think I really enjoyed your book, and of course the improv aspect of it. That's
Well,
my main thing.
I appreciate that. I mean, my hope is to yes and improv, right? In another area to open up to get more people to understand it and recognize that improv is just like at the foundation of comedy sports. It's for everyone, right? And not only for comedic and performative levels, but as applied improv points out, and really even as something as intimate as a doctor-patient relationship points out. You can use, and I often prescribe to medical providers, to doctors, try mirror to open up your session instead of, okay, tell me what's wrong, maybe what's not wrong with your life, to open up that different channel, right? So that it's not the doctor on the pedestal and the poor patient down here, that equal ground between a medical professional and someone who's there looking for help can open up healing right away. And improv, in 30 seconds or a minute, you can use one of these techniques to completely disarm somebody and recognize, oh, I'm not being talked down to or prescribed to. I'm being seen and validated. And therefore, I'm rising up in my own power. Like you mentioned, the hero's journey. How many people who are in need don't feel anything like a hero? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, they feel like they don't have any worth. I mean, the one thing that you're doing, I notice, is that increasing self-worth among people who may have felt like, well, I don't have any now, and that's an amazing thing. And you talk about storytelling. Every improv scene is a story. Even gimmick kinds of games like spelling bee,
yeah.
and there's a story going on there, and everything's a story. And the thing is that I think people learn the most important thing that I try to instill is that you're already doing improv. This conversation is improv. There's no scripts. Uh, and people don't realize that. Yeah, you're born doing improv.
Right.
And we lose that ability for play.
Yeah, there it is. That's foundationally. It's about play. It's about remembering what is inherently ours and remembering inherently who we are. And there's the hero's journey from, like you said, childhood through aging into older age. And hopefully we can reclaim that as for whatever happens between, say, our teen to whatever year where maybe we're crushed in the machine and we go, oh, wait a minute, I've still got some time. I've got some life. And I really like these first 8 to 10 years when I was playing freely. And I get to, if I say so, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Dick, I can't thank you enough for your time, man. This is really great. I wanted to yes and one thing you said about the short, the games like Spelling Bee becoming long form. Courtney Pong, one of my favorite people, she pointed out that our matches, in and of themselves, there are all these short form games, and yet there's a story, there's an arc within there, and that those seemingly short form games come together, and that's where, pointing out the show again, the match, the referee can come and be the master storyteller and call back and pull threads and watch the audience just go, oh my God, you were listening.
Yeah,
We love listening.
yeah, it's for the audience. That's one thing that we made clear from the outset, that if this is not for us, this is not, we may grow doing this and everything, but we're doing these shows. These matches are for the audience, and they're without them, I remember back in the scrap iron yard.
Back in the scrap iron yard. That's a perfect place to end this. Thanks so much, Dick. I really appreciate it. I can't wait till I get to see you in person
My
again, buddy.
pleasure. Loved your book. Everybody should read that.
Thanks, Dick.
All right. Thank you, Rob.